All right, Jordan, arrow pointing up. I will let you start.
Start with just the NFL draft. I thought it was a fun edition of the draft. I thought the Falcons did really well, which I'm not used to saying. And I wanted to pose this question to you, Ben, because my wife Shelby and I we were talking about this, and it wound up being like a really interesting discussion. Let's say you are a first round talent going in the draft. Do you go to the draft or do you do your own thing at home and do that? Which option would you take? And I'll give you my answer.
Well, I think it really depends if I know I'm going to be a first round pick because like
Let,
it's
let's say you do. You
if I
know you're
know that I'm going to be a first round pick, like if I'm the Cam Ward or whatever, like I would go to the draft. And the reason why is just because you're never going to have, and I realize the same can sort of be said if you're at home with your family and you get drafted, but you're never going to be able to have a experience like that ever again in your life where you're being drafted and you're the guy and you're talking to the commissioner and you're getting, and I'm not even like I'm not even the type of guy that would want to be doing a bunch of media and TV interviews and stuff like that. But, you get some exposure and it's your moment and, you know, you get to go. I know maybe some people, if it was in Green Bay, they're like, I don't know how crazy I am about going to Green Bay this time of year, but you get to go to a cool place that you're not normally going to get to go to unless you're getting drafted by the Packers or if you're getting drafted by whatever it's being hosted. So I would go, but that would only be if I knew I was going to be like a top 15 pick. If I felt like there was any conversation that I was going post 15, you set yourself up for that Jalen Milroe situation where you're there, but you're not getting drafted. And even though you're still getting to enjoy the experience, like Jalen Milroe probably had a blast. But there's still that conversation that's going on where it's like, why do you even bother showing up, whatever. And it's just, you become the butt of a joke that you didn't need to be.
The thinking from my wife and from me was you go to the draft. You hit on a big part of it. You'll never get that chance again. You're going to have an experience of a lifetime to go. But two, it was kind of more of the negatives to if you do your own thing because one, we realized that, if you're at your home and you have all those people there, it winds up kind of being like you're planning a wedding in that you have to decide who gets invited and who doesn't. And mom has the second cousin that she really wants there. And well, we can't have that many people. But two, the slide is like the biggest negative to go into the draft because they keep cutting to you and, it's really awkward. There's a lot of shots but if you do that at home, you're sitting there and like you've got your uncle like walking up every few picks, just being like, "Hey, keep your head up." Like you're just getting advice from people you do not want to hear from right now. You're just waiting on the phone to ring. I think going to the draft is the way to go.
Yeah, well, the only alternative that I can think of, I think I saw, and I wish I could credit the right place because I saw it earlier this week, but Lawrence Taylor was asked about his draft night, and he said, I don't remember much. I was like 41 Coors Lights deep. And then they said, were you with your family or what were you doing? He was like, no, I was with my drinking buddies. And like, I guess that's a fair alternative if you're just like, you know what? I don't need to do that. Like to your point, I don't need the second cousin or the great aunt or whatever it is to be, forcing their way onto getting some TV time. Like, I just want to kind of hang out and enjoy myself and like do what I would be normally doing on a regular Thursday night or Saturday afternoon or whatever it is. So LT might have had the right idea there if you're not going to go to the draft. But I'm with you. Look, if you got a tight knit family and it's like you and just a few people, like I can get it. Like you want to be around your people, and look, it's probably more enjoyable to just kick back on a couch and lay, than be sitting and have cameras all around you and sort of in this stressful environment. But yeah, I wouldn't want to deal with the stresses of having to manage family behavior and things like that as well. And, some family member always becomes a meme nowadays. They always do something when you're on the phone or something happens. I mean, I guess there was an offensive lineman that was drafted and he was taking his call and his cat was in the video and he became kind of the star. I guess those are some of the moments where maybe it's worth it for certain guys to be at home because it's like, all right, your cat just became like a national sensation and, that's just like stupid, silly fun. But yeah, you only get drafted one time. Why not go to the draft if you're invited?
Quinn Ewers revealed to everybody that he is actually Craven the Hunter with every animal known to man stuffed in his house. So that was definitely something, and kind of a little bit of an awkward transition, but I guess it works. Arrow pointing up, Kangaroos. Did you see this in Auburn?
No, I didn't, but I've seen this video sitting down here below, and I've been wondering what the heck you're doing.
So a kangaroo got loose around Auburn, and I feel like this is from James Spann on Twitter. I mean, it stopped traffic on I-85. Could you imagine, you're on your way to work and all the traffic stopped and you're like, well, was there a wreck? No, a kangaroo got loose. And I wanted to say this, kudos to whoever took that video. I would have raced that thing. I would have been in the second lane just seeing how fast this kangaroo. I would have made sure I wouldn't have hit it, if I had to slam on the brakes. But that person had better willpower than me. I'd have tried to see how fast that kangaroo could have got hopping.
Knowing my luck, if I tried to do something like that, he would have taken out my driver's window or my windshield or something like that and said, "Hey, buddy, you're too close. Get out of here."
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Exactly right. All right, arrow pointing up for me. I'm just gonna say a couple Athens things that are the arrow pointing up on. One, Twilight was last weekend. Always a great time. I love experiencing Athens when the entire city is just shut down. You can, walk around. For people that are drinking type, you get the open container around Athens, which is a nice little change of pace. Obviously, it's just a different vibe during Twilight weekend. So thoroughly enjoyed being down there. One of the reasons that I was down there as well is my wife and I were celebrating our 4th wedding anniversary last week. And so we actually went, I'm going to give a shout out to a local restaurant that I had never been to before and is awesome. Asterio Olio. So it's an Italian restaurant. It's like this area near-ish to downtown. I don't even know how to describe like the area that it's in, but there's an old rivet factory that got changed into a hotel called the Rivet. And the restaurant is called Asterio Olio. Awesome pasta, awesome pizza. Maybe a little bit more on the pricey side than certain Athens places, but 100% worth it, especially for an anniversary dinner. So I wanted to give a shout out there because it was delicious. They actually have this like family style where you like the chef, you get the family style meal, and then the chef and the waiter like ask you certain questions and they form what your menu will look like based on those types of things, and you get to kind of share it as a table. We didn't actually do that, but I saw that and I was like, man, this is sweet. I'll definitely be back to be doing that. So shout out to Athens for both of those two things. And then I was going to arrow pointing up my vision because I was supposed to be going to get a LASIK consultation immediately after we recorded this. And then they were the ones that had to end up rescheduling it. So now I don't know when I'm going to get my LASIK consultation. And for all I know, I'm going to be wearing glasses for the rest of my life. So arrow no longer pointing up on my vision.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
Oh, Jordan. Oh, gosh, you're sick.